Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another English language lesson. Today, we will focus on a very interesting part of reading comprehension, and we're going to detect logical fallacies in the reading passages that we've been covering in the past videos. So, let's move on. As you can see here in the video, uh, and you can understand from the same words that some passages and some statements or claims or opinions are not to make sense, so they don't make sense. That's why they're called fallacies. The objectives of this lesson are three, and the first one is that by the end of the class the student are gonna make the difference, are gonna see the difference between a statement, an opinion, and a fact. The second one is that students are going to spot logical fallacies in a student's perspective, maybe perhaps an academic, writing and reading passages, in speaking and listening as well. And the third objective is that students are going to be able to write a paper that doesn't use logical fallacies and know how to fix papers that do. So, the first one, we will focus on introducing the term logical fallacy. What are some common logical fallacies? And uh, we're going to put that knowledge into practice by the end of the video. Being persuasive in a communication process is a tough job, especially if you're a student. You need the right amount of art in terms of delivery and the right amount of integrity in your words and their context. And not being able to properly deliver a message is nothing compared to not having integrity in what you say. So, in this lesson, we will learn how to spot logical fallacies in communication, in writing and reading, and why not figure out why they are wrong, so we don't have to make the same mistakes when we write or speak to someone. So a broad definition of logical fallacies is known to be as a common flaw. So those are common flaws in reasoning that weaken or invalidate someone's arguments logic. And fallacies can be either invalid arguments or irrelevant points, and they are frequently discovered due to the absence of evidence to support the assertion. And a good communicator is able to recognize and understand why that logic doesn't work, or why is that a fallacy, as well as good communicators are able to avoid falling victim to a logical fallacy. Some of the most common logical fallacies are hasty generalization, slippery slope, ad hominem, and red herring. Hasty generalization is a conclusion that is based on insufficient evidence or information. This logical fallacy is committed when a conclusion is drawn from a haste or an insufficient evidence. And if we can take an example here. Let's say that restaurant serves chicken sandwiches. I've heard similar chicken sandwiches at another restaurant and they didn't taste good. So I don't think theirs will be the best either. So based on the example, I think you can understand. So why is the person making a generalization? And that's why it's called a hasty generalization. The second one is slippery slope. Uh, A slippery slope is when a person asserts that one occurrence leads to another, and so on, until a terrible conclusion is reached. And if we take an example of a slippery slope, it's the one that you already have on your screen. There's this guy who says, if I don't turn this essay on time, my teacher will give me a failing grade. If I get a failing grade, I might fail the subject. If I fail the subject, I have to take it again next year. If I can't do that, I won't be able to graduate on time. So there's that. Very interesting and very good example of a slippery slope. The next one is ad hominem. Ad hominem is a logical fallacy which occurs when a person tries to change the focus of an argument from the argument itself to something about the other person. So instead of, let's say, attacking the argument or how strong, valid the argument is, the person tries to play the person. So tries to play the speaker and not focusing on the argument. There's this example. If someone supposedly says her whole argument is about taking care of the environment, but he changed the subject by he's changed the subject by talking about how she did poorly in debate competitions. And there's a logical fallacy in that statement. And another logical fallacy is post hoc ergo propter hoc. And this fallacy or this conclusion is based on the idea that if A came after B, then B must have caused A. So there's this chain of inappropriate logical relation. This logical fallacy is also committed due to insufficient evidence about the event. So the speaker or the writer is trying to shift their focus into something not very important and jumping to conclusions that are not logical, as we can see in the example here that says she forgot to bring an umbrella once and it rained. A week later, when she brought an umbrella, it didn't rain, so she decided to always bring one so it wouldn't rain. How smart that is, how logical that is. And looks like that's it for today. We covered a few the most common logical fallacies that are to be seen in reading, speaking, and writing passages as well. Always be critical of what you communicate because words have integrity just like you do. It's a very good advice when it comes to people who tend to follow or pursue a more academic career or life. And if we wrap this up, this whole lesson, we can review and conclude by saying that logical fallacies are common flaws in reasoning that weaken or invalidate your argument's logic. The four most common logical errors are hasty generalization, slippery slope, ad hominem, and post hoc ergo propter hoc. Hasty generalization is when a conclusion is drawn from a study that was done in a hurry or with insufficient evidence. Slippery slope asserts that one occurrence leads to another, and so on until a terrible conclusion is reached. And ad hominem attacks the person rather than the argument being talked about. Post hoc ergo propter hoc is based on the idea that if A came after B, then B must have caused A. So thank you for watching this video. And if you like this content, make sure to subscribe, like, and comment below if you have any other examples of hasty generalization, slippery slope, ad hominem, or post hoc ergo propter hoc. And thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.